True Colors is a game inspired by Clue. The object of the game is to be the first person to kill another player. In this game, everybody is a doppelganger. You all look like Miss Scarlet. So all of the player pawns look exactly the same. Each player has a secret identity. So in this case, this player is actually Professor Plum, even though they look like Miss Scarlet. And this player is actually Mr. Green, even though they also look like Miss Scarlet. At the start of the game, you would deal out to each player one of these secret identities, these true identities, which you don't reveal. You keep it secret. You would also deal to each player two vulnerabilities, two where cards. These are places where that particular player can be killed. And you also deal out to each player two what cards. These are weapon cards. And these are the weapons that can kill this player. So in this case, all of these are kept secret, but in this case, this player is actually Mr. Plum. Mr. Plum can be killed either in the lounge or the dining room if they are attacked with the poker or the rope. So all of this is secret. Here's the weapon tokens. At the beginning of the game, you randomly put one weapon in each of the rooms. So what you're trying to do as the game goes along is determine what each of the other players are vulnerable to, where they're vulnerable, and then hopefully corner them in the room that they're vulnerable to while you have the weapon that they can be killed with and kill them. But that can only happen if their true identity has been revealed, if their who card is face up. So if this was however many players there are, you grab that many Miss Scarlet pawns and you put them in the center of the board on this space. True Colors is actually meant to be a game for 4 to 8 players. So if we were setting up this properly, we would actually have a 4th player. And then we would grab 4 pawns, put them in the middle of the board, and we're good to go. On your turn, you roll dice, and this is how many spaces you can move. So that was a pretty poor roll. I can only move 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. That would be enough to get me into the lounge. I can move horizontally or vertically, not diagonally. I could then pick up the weapon that's in the lounge. There's no limit to how many weapons you can carry. You can carry a lot of weapons. Around the board are these special spaces, teleportation pads, that can be used as part of your movement. So if I had a high enough movement, in this case 11, I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11 would be to choose any other teleportation pad that's not occupied by another player and move to it. The other thing about teleportation pads is that when you land on one of the things you can do, if you like, is grab another player and move them to any room that you like. So this would be beneficial if a player's where card, if their vulnerability had been revealed, and for example, I knew that this character was vulnerable in the study, I may pick up their pawn and move it to the study so that I'm able to attack it on another turn and hopefully kill them. So that's the teleportation pads. You cannot enter the same room twice during your movement. So even if I started my movement in the lounge, I couldn't go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and re-enter it. I also couldn't go into the bedroom, out of the bedroom, and then back into the bedroom. I can only enter a room once on my turn. One of the things I can do is move to this central room, and doing so and ending my turn there gives me the opportunity to reveal one of the cards that's not yet been revealed, that is left over, that wasn't dealt to any player. So I might decide to reveal one of the wear cards, and then everybody knows that there's nobody who is vulnerable in the conservatory. Or I might decide to reveal one of the what cards, so everybody knows that there is no Mr. Pink in the game. When I enter a room, there are a variety of things that I can do when I enter the room. One is I can grab the weapon that's in the room if it's not taken yet. Let's say another player had a weapon. I could steal a weapon from that player who's in the same room as me. Or I could guess this player's true identity. So I might say, I think you're Mrs. Peacock. That player would then, if they were not Mrs. Peacock, simply say, nope, that's not me. If they were Mrs. Peacock, they would then reveal their who card. So if I had guessed correctly and said, I think you're Mr. Green, and they were Mr. Green, they'd have to reveal their true identity. As soon as a player's true identity is revealed, they can be killed. So on the subsequent turn, I could attack this player. I could attack Mr. Green. And if I was in a room where Mr. Green was vulnerable and I happened to have the weapon that he was vulnerable to, he would die and I would win the game, even if his what and where cards weren't revealed yet. A final thing I can do when I'm in a room is attack another player. To attack, I need to have at least one weapon. It doesn't matter which weapon it is, unless that person's true identity has been revealed and I'm going for the kill. Any weapon will do. So I'm in this room, I attack this player. I say, because I might lose track of whose pawn is whose, I say, okay, who is this person? They would have to say who they were, say it was this player. And I say, okay, I attack you. And then I have the option of turning over any one of their vulnerability cards, either a what card or a where card. So I might turn over a what card and learn that this player is vulnerable to poison. Eventually, this player's vulnerabilities are going to all be revealed. When that happens, if I attack them, the final card to be turned over is the who card, making them vulnerable to being killed. So the who card only gets turned over once all 4 of the vulnerability cards have been turned over. Then they're vulnerable to attack. So having revealed that this is Miss Sunshine and that she's vulnerable in the bedroom or the billiard room, I might at some point land on a teleportation wheel, move her over to the bedroom, teleport, continue my movement, and hopefully get into the bedroom and have a good chance of killing her if I have the correct weapon and she's in the correct room. If I don't, I can still attack her. The attack doesn't kill her because I don't have the correct weapon, even though she's in the correct room. And in that case, what I get to do is attach to her another vulnerability. So I might choose to make her also vulnerable in the conservatory, or I might choose a random location to make her vulnerable to and place it face up in her pile of vulnerabilities, or I might choose a random what card and also make her vulnerable to the knife. Let's say I had the knife already in my possession. Let's just say this was the case. And I make an attack. I don't have the correct weapon, but she is in the correct room, and I just happen to get lucky and draw the knife card and make her vulnerable to it. I would then kill her and win the game. So that's True Colors, a game for 4 to 8 players, a deduction game about figuring out what your opponents are weak to and where they can be killed, and then getting the right weapon, cornering them, using the teleportation pads to move them into the correct room, getting in there and killing them. Hope you enjoy the game.